Charlie, let me ask you, what's your reaction?
Did you know that he was in the basement?
Man, no, I didn't know that he was in the basement. I searched, my wife searched. We've had dozens of police officers, FBI agents here, dogs. We've all been searching for my son. You know, so any intimation that I knew that he was in there somehow, it's absurd. Literally, I couldn't find him. You know, if the FBI couldn't find him and the Detroit police couldn't find him, for anybody to intimate, they did finally, yeah. They've been living in my house for the last 10, 11 days.
Have
They've
you
been
looked in your basement?
We looked in my basement. I looked in my basement. They looked. They went down there with search dogs. My wife looked before she called me.
When was the last time you looked for your son down there?
The last time I looked for my son down there was a few days ago, before the FBI did, before they came with the dogs. No, I've been in the basement, but
has he ever hidden? Has he ever hidden in the basement before? Has he ever hidden down there before?
No, he hasn't.
We heard that your ex-wife may have been hiding him down there from you and feeding him.
That's absurd. And my ex-wife did not take off. The FBI or the task force was here executing a search warrant. They forced my wife to leave. I was here. You guys were here. They stated we could not be in the house while the search was being executed. That was a decision of law enforcement, not the decision of my wife.
How surprised are you that he was found in the basement?
I'm shocked because I looked, like I said, the Detroit police looked, the FBI looked. Repeatedly, they've been through here. They've been in my house until 3 in the morning on occasions and all night. When that lieutenant kept me and my family at the police station from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. The Detroit police and the task force were here all night executing search warrants. So to say that, you know, for anybody to imply that I somehow knew that my son was in the basement, it's absurd and it's wrong. I love my son. I'm glad that he's home and he's going to have the great future that he deserves to have.
Well, no one
when we talked to you earlier today, there was deeper concern perhaps about a homicide.
Yeah, man, you broke my heart with that, man.
But tell me about your range of emotions based on what the police were telling you.
Man, they thought my son was dead, man.
Have you seen your son yet?
No, I haven't.
Do you know where he is?
Where's your wife?
No, I don't. Right now? No, I don't. My wife, she left. They wouldn't let her in the house. But I want to see my son.
This is Mr. Bothuell. It's Charlie Bothuell. He's overcome with emotion right now. Obviously, Detroit police just finding and then the FBI locating his son in the basement of the house here. Oh, let's just stay showing the dead, showing the basement. Charlie Bothuell, what happens now? Where are you going now?
I want to see my son.
They took him out to be evaluated.
They're getting evaluation.
Is there anything that
they're having a doctor look at him? He's been away a long time.
Potentially, any signs of abuse, any reason why he would be hiding in that basement?
My son, you know, and I don't know that he was there the whole time. I want to talk to my son. My son obviously came to live with me because he had some challenges. My son was under ultimatum. I said, look, you have to do right, period. Daddy can't be the only person that you listen to. And I use his Uncle Daryl as an example. I said, the most important thing is that you get what you need so that you can be successful in life. And coming this fall, we're planning on moving. You're going to be doing what you need to be doing, either in public school in the suburbs or private school, or you know, you might be going to Lyman Ward Military Academy, another boarding school, just like your Uncle Daryl did. His Uncle Daryl is now a graduate of St. Louis University Law School, and that's the same type of success that I want for my son.
But do you
and
think
that's what I made clear to him.
Intervention at this point, no matter what?
Obviously, absolutely, obviously. Absolutely, he needs some intervention at this point. He needs a whole lot of help at this point.
And
absolutely.
And can you tell people, you and your wife, his stepmother, you had no knowledge that he was in that basement?
We had no knowledge that my son was in that basement, period. Oh my God. And I don't know that he was in that basement the whole time. How could me, my wife, the Detroit police, the FBI, and all of these task force who have lived in my house.
Did he have the means to get it out here? Did he have a key to the house?
He was eating. It was implied that perhaps that your current wife might have been keeping him down there and hiding him perhaps from you.
That is absurd.
Does your ex-wife
have
access?
Did she say that she's told you point blank that she does not know where he is?
Yes, she has. Period. My wife wouldn't do that.
Would you have noticed any disturbing of the property? I mean, you would have noticed he was coming in and out, wouldn't you?
You know, I can think I would have, but I would think that I would have noticed that he had a Twitter account that I didn't know about, which the FBI told me, and some, you know, additional money that they found. So, I mean, as a parent, you do everything you can to keep as close a track on your children as you can.
Did he have a key? Could he have gone in and out?
We had extra keys around. I mean, so it's possible. We have extra keys.
Are any of them missing at this point? Have you looked at that?
That hadn't crossed my mind.
A lot of people were talking earlier about the whole lie detector situation. Your wife declined to take one with Detroit police. You said yes to the FBI.
The FBI did not ask my wife. Agent Scott Wheeler, Special Agent Scott Wheeler, after I declined to take the lie detector with the Detroit police because of the way the lieutenant treated me and my family, the agent said, well, okay, what about with the FBI? And I said, yes, absolutely, because I didn't do anything to my son, and I believe my son is going to be found safe and alive, and I want him home.
Did your wife volunteer? Did she consider volunteering for the FBI examination?
The FBI didn't ask her. If the FBI would have asked her, I don't see why my wife wouldn't have. But to be clear, the FBI asked me and not her.
But if you were looking to divert attention, why not volunteer her?
But listen, the FBI, obviously the focus was on me, and even today I got a call from the reporters and even from you guys saying that they're looking at this as possibly, you know what I'm saying, a homicide case. You know, the focus was on me, and that's why they asked me, and I wanted to clear it up, point blank. If the agent would have asked my wife to take a polygraph test, she would have had no reason not to, because my wife didn't do anything to my son, just like I've been saying that I didn't.
And you guys are both still willing, in the aftermath of everything that's happened here, you're both willing to take polygraphs with the FBI now to show that you had no knowledge. I want to take it with the media, because the FBI doesn't release that kind of information, and I want this information out to the public. Period. I want my name cleared and my family name clear, and I want my family to be able to go forward. So I'm asking you, the media, to get the retired FBI, CIA agents, however you guys do it, because I want the truth out to the public.
But Charlie, they said that it looked like there was a barricade that someone had to have constructed.
You know, yeah,
he would have needed help to construct it.
Charlie couldn't
you
have
know
done
what?
That on his own. It looked like maybe there was some food placed.
And you can go down and look at it. I mean, it was a big 5-gallon drum. Do you think your son's big enough to lift that?
Listen, have you seen the pictures of my son? My son, and where exactly he was found? What were the circles? Was he in the drum?
No, he was behind the container. But they said he was
we have all kinds of
and was
stuff.
nervous, but happy to see police.
You know what? After disappearing like that, I'm sure he would be nervous. I mean, of course. I mean, why would he not be nervous? Simple as that.
How soon will you be able to see your son?
That's gonna be up to Police Chief Craig and these other folks, I'm supposing, and I hope they don't leave before I get a chance to ask them or talk with them, because I want to talk with them. So my son, he's obviously gonna need some counseling. He still needs to get his education. He needs to move forward with his life. So I'm gonna do everything that I can to help my son get his life back on track, which is what I've been doing right along.
The evidence that was already taken out of that house.
And see, evidence is implying that we did something wrong, just like people were accusing me of being a murder. It's only evidence that there was some crime committed. No crime committed here. That's not what happened.
Could there have been any other sort of abuse? There was blood evidence that was taken out of that house.
Yeah. There was no abuse of my son. There was no, they said that there was evidence of a murder. That was nonsense then, and it's nonsense now.
What do you think Charlie's going to tell him? What do you think his explanation is going to be? You know your son.
Would there be any blood evidence from a prior incident?
I know my son to a certain extent, but I can tell you, I can't say what my son is going to say to them, and I don't want to do any more guessing. There's been guessing about me being a murderer, actually being a murderer. I'm a nurse. I take care of people for a living. That's what I do. And I take care of my son, which is what I've done his whole life. So I don't want to do any more guessing. I want to get to the facts, which is why I asked the media to do a lie detector test so that we can get to the facts. That's why this has been the focus, my whole focus through all of this. That's why I agreed with the FBI agents when they asked me. They said, okay, let's get to it. That's why I agree with the FBI agents, and that's why I'm asking the media right now still, hey, let's do a polygraph so we can put it out, all of these questions.
Has Charlie ever said, I'm going to hide, I'm going to run away, and can you actually see him being able to do this?
Charlie ran away before.
But just for a few hours.
Well, he was found within a few hours. You know, he was found within a few hours. So, you know, what his intention, was there, I mean, I can't say. But you know what? Right now, I'm happy that my son is home, and I want to catch the chief and the other.
Okay, go ahead.
Are they leaving? I want to catch them before they